Dehydrated hair.
Attention, attention! Come on, everybody, let's go! Up to it! 1, 2, let's go! Come on! Fans and cars, gold chains don't mean a thing. Words to your brain, fame is my game. Ride the terrain, smooth with no pain. I come from the streets, no such thing as pain. Do the jump! Do the jump! Do the flip! Do the flip! Double dutch. Double dutch. Don't lose the grip. Don't lose the grip. To the right. To the right. To the left. To the left. Side to side. Side to side. I'm the rep. I'm the rep. Jump the ropes now. Jump the ropes now. Get up high now. Get up high now. To the limit now. To the limit now. Right now. Right now. Like my sister said, it's not as easy as you say. Remember that phrase again? When I say boom, 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 you say bam, bam, bam. No words in between. Come on, let's jam. Kick, 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 kick. Slide, 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 slide. Do it slick, do it slick, do it slick, do it slick, and ride, ride, and ride, ride. Lean it to the left, lean it to the left, lean it to the right, lean it to the right. Crouch down for speed, crouch down for speed. Just obey your needs, just obey your needs. Double dutch, inline skate, or rock climbing. Don't forget the rhythm, groove, and keep rhyming. Gain is accomplished only through pain. Always keep it going and get wild like Jane. Up the ramps we go, all the way. Up the ramps we go, all the way. Come on now. On the rails or just on the trails. Crave for speed and let your body go. Crave for speed and let your body go. The need for speed will keep your body tight. The need for speed will keep your body tight. Remember, never go down without a fight. Remember, never go down without a fight. 1, 2, 1, 2, it's just me and you. We're gonna give it the best and the rest is on you. Enjoy the music and keep up the flow. The end is near.
Hello, good evening. It is me. Ooh ooh ooh. Tap the mic. Make sure people hear you and not such wrong. You know. Yeah. So, hello guys, it's me. Welcome to the evening Thursday. The evening of this Thursday, where we gonna Thursday of the evenings. So yeah, where we're gonna probably. So yeah, Papa, hello, it is me. Hello, Ari. Hey, what's up, boys? What's up, boyos? It's me. It's like
That was good. Can you please take a picture? Sure.
like man. I'll get a rapper. Hello.
You trust me?
Okay, hold up. PP. No fee. Alright, hey guys, welcome to the stream where we play where we vibe with that such. We're gonna vibing today. So anyway, hi, my name is Andy Orvug. I am a PNG tuber. I do a variety of things, such as video games, movies. We're gonna do many things such as video games, writing, and drawing and other things. Today is actually something very special and something I had originally planned for some time ago, but delayed and that such. So, um, to explain, um, but anyway, before we go into it, um, I do, the rules are down below. Just, in general, don't be a bigot or weird. Also, follow butts. No, 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 thank you. We got one of those yesterday, so, um, yeah, it's kind of shocking. So, anyway, hello. Anyway, yeah. So, but we're gonna see that today is a very special thing. So, one of the so you know DVDs, right? I'm talking like as if I'm an old man or something, but like I'm actually not. But one of the interesting things about being like being like part of like I guess this gen is that you did that in some ways you did grow up with some aspects that are not totally involved with totally not technological, but like some aspects are like older and yet somehow more and it going more in line with technology. So but today we're gonna do something a bit different. So you ever had a DVD and you watch it a lot and you watch a lot of the things a lot. And sometimes if you were a kid and you were very curious about how this particular, you would go behind. Hold up a second. Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna hide myself. Hold up a second. Oh, hello. Hold up a second. Oh, okay. Okay. So something like something like behind the scenes in a DVD. Um, example, behind like a DVD that you'd be able to find. Uh, let's just put a random like. Let's just Okay. Okay. So. Oh wait, hold on. I have a pen. So. So let's just say over here we we see this. We see a behind the scenes. I don't know. I just put a vase. So we put this random DVD. Let's say that you ever looked behind and then inside the creation of the high note, we see behind the scenes, the deleted alternate extended scenes. So yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, I remember having, and there's a lot of stuff that we really want to things like in the era of like things that you know, like if you so watch that you watch how it was made or like the interesting process behind the figures that they've done. It's like so cool. And like I hate to be like, boom, because like, but like the thing is with a lot of digital, not everything is like like ways to use the consume and the way to physical digital. Yeah, it's a lot easier, but also there's also a lot of things they hadn't did not included if you don't, if they weren't, you know. There's a lot of things that would included if you weren't buying it like a physical. That you could pack more on a DVD. That there's so many things you could do. That you could like see how it was made with the processes. And it's always like an interesting that because not everybody posts their foot. Not everybody posts like a behind the scenes thing on YouTube. Some companies just don't do that simply because they don't really care about the product or that stuff that we know. So what we're gonna see that um we're gonna see some of these nuns that I happen to find, such as we're gonna watch some of these. We're gonna find some of these, and yeah, I know we have Chicken Little in the title, and yeah, that's because we're gonna start off that first because that's insanely fascinating. So we're gonna 18-minute video. But I really wanna. There's a lot of like deleted scenes that it was a very troubled production behind it. So we're gonna watch. We're gonna see. We're gonna see that stuff. So,
Rejected by your parents?
yeah, no, whatever. So we're not gonna watch this entire video, but we're gonna see most of it. So, here we go. Ping pong. Let's go. Hatching Chicken Little. Yes, we are gonna start with Chicken Little because I watched.
Hi, I'm Randy Fulmer, producer on Chicken Little.
And I'm Mark Dindal, the director.
Cut.
Yes, the same guy behind the. Okay, he in Disney canon, he also directed the Emperor's New Groove. So, yeah, that's a pretty big rev. So yes, we're gonna find out. We're gonna watch these deleted scenes because it's insanely fascinating. We're not gonna watch this entire video. We're gonna skip around the just parts, but like we'll like see some of these figures that have made because I don't know.
I'm Randy Fulmer, producer on Chicken
So
Little.
this is
And I'm Mark Dindal, the director.
Cut.
yes. He also worked on the Emperor's New Groove. Yes, he also directed the Emperor's New Groove. So
Hey, this is. Hi, I'm Randy Fulmer, producer on Chicken Little.
Hi, I'm Mark Dindal.
and yes, it's
You're the director.
I'm the director, yes.
And we're going to go around day in the life. We're going to meet all our artists and show you what they're up to.
Come
Here
on,
we
let's
go.
go.
So you know what the
Disney
interesting thing
Legacy
behind
is
this
all
one?
about memorable characters, great storytelling, fantastic.
Like I know this is
eye-popping
commissioned by Disney, so I don't think they're gonna reveal that much information, but we
visuals
can
and
infer that
emotional
from
music.
behind this.
And our goal was to take all of these elements and pour them into Chicken Little.
I guess.
The original fable of Chicken Little is this: Chicken Little gets hit on the head with an acorn. He
But, like,
thinks
what we
it's a
see
piece
here-
of the sky. He creates panic throughout the community, saying the sky is falling, and gets revealed to be an idiot because he thought the sky was falling.
We had pitched Chicken Little as a concept with a little girl character. We felt a girl is more vulnerable than a boy, more unlikely as a character to save the world.
Hey, wait a minute. This is not pro-feminist. Hey, wait a minute. This movie isn't pro-feminist.
Sky can't fall. Sky can't fall. Sky can't fall.
The original story of Chicken Little as a girl was a character who had this overactive imagination, and she always thought something scary was going to happen.
That is not a vampire rising from his coffin. That is
Well, oh yeah,
just
this
the
was from a
house,
deleted
settling.
scene.
What was that?
About a year and a half into working on the movie, we went across the street and showed it to Michael Eisner.
But Mr. Hornsby had a vision.
And Michael, the very first time he said, I think Chicken Little would be more interesting as a boy. Then he felt, if
Why?
you're small, that's a bigger problem for a boy than a girl.
What if I joined the baseball team?
I mean, I
Girls
guess
can
so.
be
That's
small,
true.
and
But
that's
like,
not considered a huge problem.
I don't know. I'm an easy target.
You've got much more if you've got this little guy who's got something to prove, whose dad doesn't
But, like-
believe in him.
You gotta believe me this time.
And since he is our boss, he won. He won that argument.
oh.
The same sort of ideas went from one version to the other. At the end of the day, all of the anxiety and energy that went into creating this
But, like,
Disney version of the
okay.
old Chicken Little fable was really,
But
really
look at all this like 2D concept though. Look over here. So we're like, that look all this like 2D concept though. Like over here. Look at this. So we're gonna ignore like there's so many like different varying designs. So like they surely did have a lot of the cartoony proportions that it would be like in a 2D animated film, but since it wasn't doing so well, well, the thing is with like Chicken Little and that such that we to visualize the story. To visualize, Disney selected 50% of its 2D animation set to put them in the CGI animation team. Okay, so yeah, there was like an idea because it wasn't originally supposed to, because a lot of it was originally 2D, but the studio moved to computer animation once we're down to because by rising competition for Pixar and DreamWorks. As such as the, Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis Lost Empire, Treasure Planet, Home of the Range, all 2D films. All 2D films. And, okay, so apparently the coloring, yeah, that's, apparently is inspired by Alice in Wonderland, so... For the characters' designs in it, there's no thought to capture the rawness as seen in the Disney anime from the 1940s to 50s, by which the characters were really much inspired for the goofy cartoon How to Play Baseball. And the visual effects supervisor Steve Goldberg's device of the self-control with outline for it to be viewed on screen provided a direct link to the controls for a specific element. Autonomy, it was all the new electronic. So, yeah.
fable was really, really worth it because we ended up with a movie that we really love.
But like,
The main thing that inspired the design was just classic proportions that are cute and vulnerable, and that is a larger head, these innocent eyes. It's really baby
so
proportions.
yeah, they used like Maya for. So apparently
Chicken
they like
Little
use Maya for that such.
really is a 12, 13-year-old. He's just small for his size,
I put on 5 ounces this year. I've really bulked up.
hence the name.
Chicken Little.
So I really kind of poured myself into the character. What are we talking about? I really kind of acted out.
I put on...
The main thing that inspired the design was just classic proportions that are cute and vulnerable, and that is a larger head, these innocent eyes. It's really baby proportions.
Chicken Little really
So this was like a
is
supervising
12,
enemy.
13-year-old. He's just small for his size,
I put on 5 ounces this year. I've really bulked up.
hence the name.
Chicken
Supervising
Little.
So I really
animator
kind of poured myself
Jason
into
Ryan
the
over
character.
here.
What are we talking about? I really kind of acted out. How
So
would
yeah,
I
a lot
say
of
that?
it was
How would the character Chicken Little say that?
So yeah, you know what? So it's just a transition from 2D to 3D. So the originally 2D animators, most of them were, because some of them also worked on 2000's Dinosaur, which is the movie I never watched. But I've only saw like a trailer for it when I on like a VHS. I think it was also on the VHS for Tarzan, I think. So that was neat. So we also probably like wanted to see. They also wanted to see like how, so like part of it was because of the down, so they shifted, so they had to retrain in a new medium of animate. They did to train in a new form of animation because like it wasn't profitable. It was like 3D.
You know, I combined the two. Thanks for the chance.
Mark Dindal brought in some old Walt Disney animated shorts that were made in the 40s and 50s. He said, this is the stuff that I love. This is what I want it to look and feel like. I think the style of
yeah, that cartoonish aspect, yeah, that's definitely true.
animation on Chicken Little
Yeah,
is,
you can definitely
is a
tell that
cartoony
they-
style.
especially
One of the
those
things I
goofy
got
shorts.
from looking at that was how much fun it was. When the character walks across the stage, it's done with gusto and attitude, and it's squashing and stretching, and I wanted to try and capture that in the style of animation for Chicken Little.
Here we've got a whole
kind of
studio
interesting.
of these animators that are now animating 3D animation, but we have such a heritage of 2D animation. We figured out ways to introduce drawing right back into the process, and there it is.
I guess, yeah, that's kind of cool. How like in some of the earliest, and how like, I guess it's interesting considering like a lot of like earlier 3D was often used for like creations of environments that would be hard to like completely do in like 2D. But like in Chicken Little's case, that it uses that to try to like give like a breathe life into the cartoon aspects that you find in 2D animation.
Well, squash and stretch is an old animation, 2D animation term to get elasticity into a character drawing.
There's a great
Yeah,
example
I know.
of the use of squash and stretch in the movie. Goosey grabs Chicken Little by the head, bounces him up and down, fires him like an arrow against the window. He flattens, and then he starts to
guess-
flop down that window. And it's all about how squashy and stretchy the characters are.
I mean, I guess I can kind of see where they're going from here, because I guess I can kind of see where they're going from here, but I don't know. Like, in this form, like, you could have, but since look at the program, it could only do so much that it could try to do squash and stretch, but it doesn't look
It was
entirely
really
convincing
important
that
for
you
us to keep that
squashed it, like overly
3D
squashed it.
sensibility, because it's part of our legacy. I think animators, when they come to Disney, look back first. They look back at the standards that have been set in some of the best
I should
animation the
probably
world's
watch
ever
Snow White
seen.
again. It's probably
3D
decent.
animation is different in
probably
that
cool.
the animator's working with a digital puppet. He manipulates a computer-generated puppet with tons of controls and bones and
Look at these dinky ass computers. Look at these very dinky computers. They're
wires
like very bulky.
and all of these different things, but it's done on the computer.
I knew it!
Got to think about rotations and joints, and each part of the character has a certain rig and a certain control that makes it move.
3D characters are able to convey subtle acting moments better than 2D characters. You have a finer detail of facial expression available with 3D.
Sort of? I don't know. I mean, I guess I could kind of see where they're going, but since like,
Are able to convey subtle acting moments better than 2D characters. You have a finer detail of facial expression available with 3D.
It wasn't an acorn. It was a piece of the sky. Really, it was.
I mean, I guess I could kind of see where it was going. Like, yeah, I guess there was like subtle emotion, but like, from a glance, like it looks as though this feels a lot of stuff. Like you could definitely tell that they were trying to do that, but like you could see in more future movies, I think like Tangled, like you'd be able to see
Love
that.
animating things that you didn't think that we could bring to life.
See, like there's some things that make you that makes it stand out as like a sort of expression. Like there's a way that how like cartoonish, like sometimes how cartoonish can express how like jaw, like sometimes if a jaw drops, it's like dong. Like it does, like when your jaw drops and you're really shocked at something, it's like dong. It's like that movement is like literally 2D, and I guess you can definitely see that they're very like ambitious and like they put the budget in that it could move like a 2D, that it does, that it tries to be like something like a 2D cartoony thing.
Only talking.
That's what I get the most amount of joy from.
What 3D offers us is an opportunity to make your characters that much more believable. Walt was always about using technology.
I don't think Chicken Little is the most expressive character, but I think it definitely do try.
In the service of telling a story. And I think if Walt Disney were alive today, he would absolutely embrace this medium.
This is one memory you'll savor forever!
The performance of the actors is key in creating a character. Sure, there's the visual side, but they are putting so much personality in their voice.
Son! I never thought I'd say this, but I think this...
Oh, it's Buck Cluck the Oh, that is game watch life. Oh.
Stop the squawk and try
John
to talk.
Cusack?
Runt of the litter!
I get out of the pressure!
I'll only jeopardize the mission and...
Yo, it's forget. Just do it little.
Dangerous.
What about the voice? We needed a slightly older voice with a little bit of edge, with a little bit of a teenage ring to it.
I got these still images.
We hired Zach Braff because he could talk faster than anybody we ever heard.
No!
Oh yeah, wasn't he a Scrubs? Like, I forget that he was
His
Scrubs
portrayal
probably
of the
because
character
like
really kind of gives me an image in my head that I want to get onto the screen.
I was thinking, what if I joined the baseball team?
Really said baseball? Are you
See? Closure.
Joan just brings a tremendous warmth to
this
movie.
Music time. Ooh.
Turkey.
Say something!
Yeah, don't tap the glass. They hate it when you do that.
We have wonderful actors creating the voices for other roles in Chicken Little.
This is unbelievable.
We have Don Knotts
Yo,
as Mayor
Don.
Turkey Lurkey,
Oh, right.
and his actors who create.
Let me see your Chicken Little. Okay, this is interesting. Are they gonna address that the soundtrack or
It's so
something? That
important
probably.
to movies and really important to the Disney films, because those songs that we all know, they just create an emotional reaction.
Yeah,
in
the
people.
songs in Peter Pan that they exist. Yeah, I mean there were songs. Yeah, there were songs in Dumbo. I mean I wouldn't call Fantasia like it was most of a concert like
Well, and that's what's
musical
all-
visual concert experience. But
All about is giving the audience an emotional experience.
it's pretty standard though. Like you get an orchestra and that such, or you see.
My job is to make every moment of the film and every frame of the film come to life.
But that's literally what that's what a composer does. It's literally what a composer does. Oh my god. It's pretty standard, honestly. Like,
The importance of score in this movie is to make you feel what Chicken Little's feeling.
Can we play that back?
27-ish.
Yeah.
When they're scoring these movies, when John's up there conducting, I'm just overwhelmed because it's beautiful and it's emotional. It doesn't take 6 or 8 months to get an end result. It's just happening. It's just amazing.
So we're done.
So we're done.
Yeah. What's next?
Pick another.
When you're creating a movie like Chicken Little, you are part of this amazing musical heritage. And we got the chance to work with some of the very
Wait, whoa, wait. Was that the Bare Naked Ladies? Sorry.
musical talent in the industry. So the suggestion for Patti LaBelle and Joss Stone to do Stir It Up together came up, and
Wait, what? Hold on. No. Wait. Was that an original? That was... Oh. Like, okay. Well, some of them... I know One Little Slip, that's for this one. Shake a Tail Feather, that was for this one, but... Like... Yeah, One Little Slip, kind of above. That's like...
just, wow.
So when Disney called, I said, Disney, I've always wanted to. I have a very big, loud, and I can go
so
high.
high.
See, Joss, she has this raw thing. She has that soulful feeling.
It not only work for kids, but adults and everyone in between. You just can't help but
Wait,
chills
wait,
down your
Five
back
Society?
tears
I didn't
come
know
to your
Five
eyes.
Society was it. Oh yeah.
Is to write songs
Wait,
that
what
not
song?
only work for kids, but adults and everyone in between. You just can't help get chills down your back and tears come to your eyes.
Music is so important to films.
Yo,
and really important in animated films
yeah,
because
Bare Naked Ladies, let's go!
It is part of the storytelling process.
Very important.
I really wanted this anthem for Chicken Little.
Bare Naked Ladies is this
Doo
incredible
doo.
rock group.
And they
It
created
was
this
a
great song
recipe for this.
Chicken Little called One Little Slip.
A 4-course meal of no siree. It seemed like happily ever after.
Nailed it.
We actually got the chance to see the opening sequence of the film in
Ooh.
progress.
Well, this actually looks way better in 2D.
From the sketches all the way through to finished animation.
I was really inspired by Chicken Little's pants. They're kind of a...
Okay. Okay. That's a very random thought. Drummer of the hit band Bare Naked Ladies. Wow, that's a very... I was inspired by his pants.
Diaper meets short. They're like a shiper or a dort.
A shiper. What? That's not a word. Shiper. Shiper. Yo, shiper. Shiper. Jort. Jort.
What was nice about working with Mark and Randy was they knew what they wanted.
You come in on this.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Little slip before you finish that.
We had flipped it around as the main one, and then in that one go back to fusion of confusion, the few confounding one little.
like, look how it's like visually just like the guitar.
There. The way you just sang it, you don't need a word.
Talking, closure.
They were all in different sort of isolation booths, but they played it as a song together.
Recipe for disaster.
Oh, speaking of a
focal
recipe for
speed of-
disaster. When you have that before it, it makes it want to go up.
Recipe for disaster.
As they played it that day, it just got better and better and more tight. They're
It seemed like happened.
good.
Let's do one more.
One more
How do we do karaoke?
One more.
Did a beatbox for my main man, Chicken Little, and I tried not to hit Steve Page with my spittle as we stood here at Cello in Los Angeles. That's Tyler Stewart back there on the sweet beats as we sit here with our man Walt Disney. I'll try to sing a song and I will try to be the business what I meant, and I'll stop singing now. That's Steve Page. Chicken Little's not a cow, he's a chicken. He's a chicken.
Bass.
He's a chicken.
That's a stellar beatbox.
He's a chicken, but he's not yellow.
What? Wait, sorry, what?
Run for your lives! Everyone run for cover!
The director is responsible for just conducting all the efforts in.
Yeah, that's what it. Okay, okay. I wanna watch some of these deleted scenes. Like, you know what the interesting thing is about like this film in particular? They're like, you know how like in Chicken Little, like it was like no. We still started like the typical Disney film. Like we started like a storybook and that stuff. You know, the same way as Shrek did. Like in a way that's like oh, this is not the typical Disney story. Like the exact same straight like the way that the first Shrek movie did. So like, so yeah, like, but like, as we're gonna see here, like one of these deleted.
Once upon a time, in the peaceful town of Okie Oaks, a chicken of minuscule proportions was born. Over the years, as the rest of his classmates grew larger in the normal fashion, he pretty much stayed his original size. And so, everyone called him Chicken Little. One fine morning, as teeny Chicken Little sat beneath an enormous oak tree, an acorn fell, striking him square on his smaller than average head. Although it was only an acorn, the silly little chicken thought it was a piece of the sky. Oh dear!
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess it would make sense if you're that small. You would see you perceive things as larger. You would see everything above you as the sky if you were that
Sky
little.
is falling!
Like dealing with like a sort of disability, or like in a way that changing your
He
height.
ran from one end of the town to the other, warning everyone. The sky is falling! The sky is falling! The sky is falling! He told Goosey Lucy and Drakey Lakey, Foxy Loxy and Ducky Lucky. Soon, Okie Oaks was in a panic. Fortunately, wise old Mayor Turkey Lurkey calmed everyone down. The sky is not falling, he explained. It was just a simple acorn. When the townsfolk realized what had happened, they laughed and laughed and laughed at Chicken Little's stupidity.
Man, this is really sad, but like,
His father was terribly embarrassed. From then on, Chicken Little was known to all as a laughingstock.
this is really
A
sad.
town fool. The joke
Wait.
of Okie Oaks.
A movie? Ugh. When am I ever gonna live this down?
Yeah, that's like that's like really upsetting. Jesus. Okay. Well, jeez, that's like really upsetting. Like we see like when we see that like thing is just like so affected his childhood. Like. Well, like, we see that thing affected his childhood and that such. It's like, but like they take it in a very straight direction. They take it like totally straight.
Breathe in and one.
I mean, it's still kind of sad, but like just that subversive ego that was trying to like do something. So, but like we're gonna see that with the original Chicken Little as a girl. This is like one of the earliest, like the early things. Not a complete scene or something, but like. Oh, Holly Hunter? Oh, yo, Elastigirl voice. That's kind of okay.
That's not a burglar trying to break in. No, it's just the shutters blowing against the house. Yeah. Yeah. That is not a vampire rising from his coffin. That is just a house settling. Oh, that is not a hungry wolf. That is just an old branch swaying in.
You know, I think you could probably see
wind.
that in that
Every-
psyche of that such, because like when everything is like perceived as larger, when something you is like see as large, normal, you see things as small as not that much, but when you're smaller, it's like you're living in a large thing.
Everything's
So
normal.
it's like a
Everything
place
is.
that's larger than you always. Like some things may feel larger, I think.
What was that?
I like how she hides behind ghost wolf.
It's an alien.
LOL. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Wait, what's this one?
I feel for you, Buck. I really do. Yeah, it must be tough to raise a son like that all alone. Yep. Hey, don't blame yourself. No, you tried. You did everything you could do, right? Supported him unconditionally as a father should. Get your
No, he
hopes
never. He
up,
didn't do that.
Then he lets you down over and over again.
No, he didn't.
The truth is, a kid that small should stick to things more suited to his size and ability. You know, like stamp collecting and whatnot. You know, frankly, I don't know how you handle disappointment so well. Yeah.
Wait, what? You know, we never had that many scenes in this movie, probably, so...
I know you want them to fit in, but do yourself a favor. Don't get your hopes up too high, all right? Yeah. Well, I best be getting back to Marin.
Recyclable
Like-
just like paper.
Like, the thing is,
More
like, he never really
wallpaperable.
tried. It's like...
Yes to fresh.
I mean, he always had to hide it under the veneer of, like... oh, that's just my son.
Ah, yes!
No, hey. Thanks, guys.
Oh, there you are. We were so worried about you. Woo!
You okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Paper. It's the new black.
Come on, let's go get some lunch. Okay, so I picked up an extra worksheet for you in mutton class, and we have to read a couple of chapters for cockle-doodle.
Oh. Yay. Snack machine! I can't believe this. I will not let you defeat me this time. Go.
I like how he has, like, blushes in the...
Oh, hey. Oh, hi, Fish.
It's Fish! Yo, it's Fish! The based character.
Oh, How can I ever repay you?
Yo, what the fuck?
I have an overactive imagination that sometimes gets the best of me, and the last time I checked, that does not make me a freak. I'm not a freak. I'm not a freak. No way. I'm not a freak. I'm not a freak.
Heads up, dudes. Freaky kid talking to herself.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Oh, well. Oh, please. Taunt my baby, will you?
Just calm down.
Oh, don't they realize she's just a little girl?
Yeah, I know. A little girl that did 3.6 million in property damage this month alone.
Well, we can't just give up on her. We have to find some way to prove she's better by the end of the summer, and then everything will be fine.
Chloe, come on, we've tried everything. I'm all out of ideas with that kid. It's hopeless. She is the way she is. She'll never change.
Why is that so sad? Honestly, I think this scene would have been really good, like having some sort of like actual thing, like emotional state, like something. Wow, a lot of these scenes feel like, well, maybe not that one, but like these scenes feel like they would have been like way better in the movie. Like this could have been something, like in a much younger scene, like as we seen like a flashback scene. Like we could have probably saw. I'm so sad. Actually, no, I don't want to watch anymore. This makes me depressed.
So did you guys hear? My life story. Soon to be a major motion picture.
Oh, God, this is depressing. Wow, this is really sad, and I don't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna do something different. Ooh, Surf's Up. Okay, now let's talk about something that's actually interesting. Surf's Up. Ooh, okay. Now this is one. This is the interesting one. You know Surf's Up, you know, the movie? Yeah. Sorry. You know Surf's Up, like the movie, and like, like the movie that's such, like, you know how it's like in sort of animated mockumentary format, like about this penguin, and it's a really sick movie. I really want to watch it again. So maybe we'll see, probably see.
We're rolling. Oh, good. Whoa, what is that?
Because we wanted to shoot the film like a documentary. We wanted that handheld camera like you often see with documentaries. If you look at most documentaries, you got somebody with a camera on their shoulder just trying to capture spontaneous moments. And it's often rough and jittery, and we wanted that organic kind of feel to the camera. It's really
So
hard
how
to
did
do.
they? So these are like one of Sony Picture Animation's like earliest films, and like whether they really wanted to like try like something like. So why like specifically like a document, like a document, like a documentary?
Do that in a computer, you usually get real smooth, calculated moves.
There was really a lot of time and energy spent around how you bring that to life.
The second one doesn't exist. No, what? Okay, I gotta see. Why was it? So I wanted to see why is it like. Let's see. Let's look up why. Hmm. Like the document. Okay, I found it. Ooh, okay, I found it. These course notes cover new tools that center many aspects of the production, so a lot of comment with other CG has been intentionally omitted. Ooh, okay. Oh, there's a lot. Abstract. So the CGI called for unique production techniques to be leveraged throughout the creation. This half-day course with an integration of a live-action handheld camera to the visual to allow the movie to be shot in a documentary style. Development of the wave system and its integration is used by all departments of the film during the production of the movie. Animation techniques and choices made to support the documentary nature of the film. The novel effect. Okay, but like, why is it a document? Okay. The premise of shooting shows up as an animated documentary that welcome to use new techniques and fresh look to the idea that the film was shot by a medium-budget documentary crew informed every editor from the choices made with the camera to the lightings. Some of the most important items led to the documentary film identified as the stunning films like Step Into Liquid, The Ultimate and The Summer and Second. They all contained found footage, lots of handheld cameras, and extensively used slow motion and other time manipulation techniques. That's interesting. So we used to like. So like, Okay. So like any good document, it says that contains footage from various sources is being used. This footage required an authentic archive feel to help inform the audience that the film is a real history. I'll be fabricated because the penguin said talk. So the archive footage was used heavily in the first act to help establish the one that John and Bezos referenced secondary with the historical events. The filmmakers also found footage from modern-day social leverage shots from Spen, the sports penguin. This footage was played as if it was shot on a high-definition video, so it had a distinct sharp look, color artifacts, and over-the-top motion graphics left from being shot by a sorts network, always looking at punchy feel for the viewers. The primary type that conveyed 1920s film, 1950s film, 1970s film, 1960s still photographs, Polaroid, Instamatic, circa 2000 first unit photography, circa 2000 video. Large, there's definitely like grain, film discoloration, scratches, negative dirt, print dirt, small hairs, fudgy projection mat. I don't know, there was like a lot of like links that need to try to look like a genuine like found footage like document. The various film and video looks used throughout the film implement is compositing macros that would apply to degrade the full color, high resolution images generated by the render and created the look appropriate for the shot or the sequence. The macros were developed by the compositing supervisor and other lead lighting compositing artists in each of the individual lighting orders, adjusted the elements effects as needed for their particular shot and sequence. So we use like in some ways like the colors like brighter than you. Any low or medium budget takes advantage of speed because of a handheld camera. So how did they decide to do that? So Sony Pictures Imageworks built a new live-action camera system for the film dubbed the Handycam. The Handycam system allows a live-action cam to be used to shoot an animated scene. The camera operator will operate the physical camera and capture system, recorded those movements, and use them to drive the virtual camera for the shot. Since the hardware and software used in the system was real-time, the operator would get instant feedback with the performance in the form of a 3D smooth-shaded version of the virtual world fed back into the eyepiece of the camera. The very shot would... Oh! Whoa! Oh! Cleaver! Oh my god, hi! Cleaver! Thank you for coming. Welcome, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? Oh yeah, you were doing... What's up, Cleaver? How was your stream? I think, oh yeah, you were doing, you're doing some, little bit of ordering the stream avatars. I saw a bit earlier, so... Made frogs, yeah, you made frogs, alright. Hi, welcome. This is, if you're new here, hi, my name is ARD Overlock. I am a PNG tuber, do a variety of things. Today we're going, I guess we're just looking at things behind the scenes of films that I watched as a kid. We looked at Chicken Little earlier, and then I got depressed, so, now we're looking at Surf's Up. And, I found this by chance, but, so we were watching just behind the scenes stuff on Surf's Up, and, like, if any films and that such that I watched. So, hi, thank you. Stick around if you want to watch me, read this and watch about, Surf's Up and how it was made to look like a documentary. Or if you want to look, then that's fine, and do. Cool. I appreciate the, here. Hello.
How you make a movie feel like
so
it's
like
a
I think that's
documentary,
like
and how
the
you take
grain and
out
the
the
discoloration
staging
that we see.
and the perfection, if you will, of a normal film.
I think this is like one of the. I think this definitely feels like the more CGI film, like with its limits. They use the more realistic parts, and that's like really cool.
Hey, check it out. How about this?
This camera system is unique. Out of
I
all
think
the
that
motion
must
capture
be the
systems that
Handycam itself, like over here.
I know, is because we actually have a little camera attached to the top of the camera itself. And what that does is it senses its surrounding environment. And above the camera, we actually have a grid which contains small LEDs that the camera itself senses. And so whenever you move the camera, the little camera that's actually on top knows at any one point exactly where it is, and it feeds that information into the computer.
The layout department actually builds the world, builds the set. Once it's built, we can take the camera and we can move anywhere we want within that set.
We'd go into a room, we had a camcorder, like any camcorder, and you
like for a documentary, like you zooming in like a camera. That's so cool.
And with this
like
camcorder,
instead
you
of
could
like a
walk up-
traditional shot where you like moved in like traditionally like in a still frame of motion, that it was like a bit of handheld motion that you shake like a documentary.
to the
It's like
penguins or
they
follow
really
them
reinforced
or
that.
zoom in
shit.
on them or whatever, and every movement
God, this
you're making with
movie's
the camera,
sick.
whether you're walking or
God, this
bouncing
movie's
up and
cool
down
as
as you
hell.
walk, those motions were being captured in real time, and it was like magic. You look through this viewfinder into a virtual world. You're on a beach with penguins.
Who are those guys? Hey, get out of here! Whoa.
This camera enables us to truly move around as if we were camera operators truly on the island of Pengu shooting penguins.
The camera is constantly alive. It feels like a character that's there holding the camera.
The directors were very adamant very early on that they wanted the camera to have the freedom to just point this way or point that way and just do whatever it needed to do. You never quite knew what the camera was going to shoot. Normally, you just design exactly what you know is going to be in the shots. It's very rare you have a set that goes all the way around.
Like usually there's a focus on one part of it. I think that's what they like. That's like one part of a scene that's like has a shot. So like that's the center of the focus that you don't need to like focus all of that. Like you like focus on like one scene or a particular scene. But since we're really like a documentary where you can film like any place, you need to have the environment in a way that like is is like striking to any angle at any
Here you
angle.
had to create complete environments.
One of the benefits of shooting this way
Like
is
it's
that we
still
could do a bunch of
animated,
different
and it's
takes
still
on the
like
fly.
in some way it's like the sort of it's like how the authenticity is like maybe like somehow it may be like maybe sort of inauthentic. Like it's not exactly that rough, but like it gets pretty close. Like I think it gets pretty close to
several
it.
takes
So
in a minute. We could have the same animation and go in and shoot several different angles, and then pick the best one in editorial. That would have taken hours or days if you did it by hand or with a keyframe.
I wasted my whole day, and I have nothing to show for it, which is
In editorial, we could do several takes in a minute. We could have the same animation and go in and shoot several different angles, and then pick the best one in editorial. That would have taken hours or
like
days.
yeah, making each of those penguins walking in like each of them would be like a painstaking amount of time for something that's so minimal and like not as focused on the scene, because the idea is that we're focusing on this. Like in the beginning we see this penguin colony, they was walking the same. Like it's not the amount of focus, so you can easily copy paste that stuff.
Is if you did it by hand or with a keyframe.
I wasted my whole day, and I have nothing to show for it, which is
Every scene in which the camera wasn't locked on a tripod was shot real time with this handheld camera process.
The camera itself is actually a personality within our movie. There are many instances where you really aren't perfectly composed on the characters, but you really feel like you're reacting to the character's motion, rather than being in a very heavily choreographed sequence.
What are you doing?
This was going to be a number of shots, cutting backwards and forwards between our two main characters, and we realized that we could shoot the whole thing as one continuous camera move using the handheld
like
camera
it's like
system.
just a one shot like
track
thing.
the characters
You track
through the
it.
jungle, really get a feeling of the jungle in front of you, and at the same time,
Yeah,
just
because
being
we
in the
can see how you see how they're obscured by the jungle,
moment and not having to
like the
cut from
shadows
one
that
shot to the
places
next.
that there.
This next shot was particularly fun to do. It was originally going to be 3 shots, but we ended up scouting the environment and realizing that the whole sequence could actually be shot in one camera. So we actually used the fact
I like
that,
how
we
they
could
like filmed it like it was inside the house.
see through that window, and we could follow Cody through. Whenever we were shooting somebody surreptitiously and we wanted to make sure that the camera wasn't in evidence to the people
I
that
like
were
how they
being
like
shot.
filmed it. I like how they filmed like what it was that should be like switching back, cutting back to a scene. They decided to like move it back in for like dialogue.
We always try and use foliage to actually hide behind.
There's a scene where Z has fallen off of a cliff, and the camera just holds for a moment and kind of pans nervously, like, what do we do now?
Yeah, because it's like, is it unsure?
I don't
like,
want to really look over the edge and see what happened to him. And the camera work had a sense of humor to itself.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, and this is interesting. Like they played into the comedy aspect. Like,
Right? There's another great shot where we find Z hiding behind some tree leaves in his house, and he's caught. The camera catches him, and then it moves.
I like how
in
they
to get
animated a boom mic. I like how they generated they animated like a boom mic that to go in.
close up of him, and he doesn't want to be seen.
Like it's not a real
There's
boom mic, but it's cool.
There's some incredible things going on there. Once again, it feels like it really happened.
Not again. It's a very organic way of shooting movies.
It provides us not only with a great look, but it also engages the viewers in the process. Sometimes the camera is almost voyeuristic, looking around the corner, or
that's so cool.
Or trying to sneak between characters and see what we're seeing, and that gives us another perspective, and it engages the viewer in the movie.
Just this week with the contest coming up and all, it's a little crazy. You really have to be extra attentive when you.
and like yeah, that shot that also helps like the comedy. That also we could see instead of just like a still shot where we see like something happening in the background, we can just like
You have so many guys in the.
we see they're still talking, but like
Well, you
moving
can't miss a
slightly as
thing.
we see that
But
kid.
you know what? I have a perfect record. I've never lost anybody. Sure, there have been close calls, but. Oh, Arnold.
all day. Turn my back for one.
For the first time, we've really been able to use a real camera in a CG environment.
The thing I like about it is it often reminds you that there's a person behind the camera shooting all this, and that's what makes it feel all the more real.
You guys see that? Oh man, the look and feel just kind of has that handheld camera.
Yo, it's Napoleon
feel to it,
Dynamite. Oh my
but
god,
not
it's
too much
Napoleon. I don't
so
know
that it's
anything about
distracting.
Napoleon Dynamite.
You don't see
do
that in
know?
animations. Usually animation is just
Oh.
they'll set up like a little
Ooh,
cowboy shot
okay,
and do
okay.
the
I'm not-
animation. This is like a whole different
okay.
way of doing it.
Oh, this is
Steadicam,
awkward.
the whole thing Steadicam.
Ooh, let's
It
look at
skirts
this.
on the edge of reality.
I don't
but
know.
it's so
I
much more
managed to
beautiful
find this on a.
alive
Dietrich
than
baby.
actually being alive.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't know
That,
this. I
you
didn't
might
notice
just give
that.
up and watch
Actually.
television all the time.
A lot of
But,
people,
like,
when they see the movie, they
I
don't.
love how the character wants to like actually like, you know, like play with these trophies. Okay, so, oh look, it's the Polo Express, the Tom Hanks movie. First, on surface of the 3D blacklight portion need to real time in mind, so like that's what it was used in here, and okay, hold on a second. Get the new music. Okay. So it's like wait, who made like what the hell? Oh, San Diego. Okay. Hello. Ooh. Oh my. Oh, wow. This is amazing. How did they make the weight for? Oh, let's see what we can find here. Go for 20. Page 20 or something. I managed to find this apparently, so. The subset admitted of animation director, 4 lead animators is approximately 60 animators at full capacity. The lead animators were secret-based rather than character, and we cast sequences rather than their strengths and specialities. For instance, the surfing sequence was made almost exclusive by the surfing team because of the level of specialty that surfing required. That's interesting. So like if a person knew about surfing, knew how to visualize and surfing and like how to the second could be shown the knack. It was the goal to create a film and environment that traders truly have fun with the animation. Many shots of stages are open palette where animators could cut loose and allow the animators to try the sequence. The crew took the idea that this was an animators movie with incredible performance that don't come along very often. So like how it was able to be as like effective and tight as it was, it's because of like the communication. But like why there's so many like penguins in that so the characters are loosely based on reference from character design for Sub-Sub, while the characters were loosely based on reference for specific penguin types, rockhoppers and blue penguin, the adaptation of these references is steeped in the rich heritage of classic 2D design. A very distinctive feature of the penguin designs is the painted patterns of their feathers. The geek has the subtle hibiscus pattern, where Tank Evans has prominent tattoos. These distinct lines are unique for each. The directors knew they wanted to cast Jeff Bridges to support the move design first, so that Jeff Bridges could be sold in it. The concept design went over the end, geek decided to enjoy the other characters under iteration. So the most important goal is that be fast and responsive. For the perspective, it was better to animate with a basic stripped-down puppet that was fast rather than use a slow rig with a lot of cool features, so as to emulate the real like human motion of a penguin, I guess. This way, the animators could do many more iterations of a shot, experiment with new acting ideas that made them never attempted with a slower rate. When it came to the characters in this film, it was less about the technology more about the heart behind the performance. The technology could not stand in the way of that creative process. There were a lot of cool features. The building the rigs up front are only stripped up because of the performance hit. Well, that didn't very efficiently few need to summarize in this section because, well, it's a penguin. They don't really do that much. So, I mean, this is like insanely in depth. Like the cycles. I don't know. Oh, the animation style is called caricatured reality. It is real world dynamics pushed to correct job bringing the fundamental rules of physics and grammar. If the style is generally not pose with cartoons, sometimes cross to keep certain performers sharp and punchy for comedic like the needed. Even so, there's a respect for the physics of the world that directors established up front, like for a document. More importantly, once the rules need to remain consistent the entire film, physics cannot change to suit an interesting the performance might be. The naturalistic animations that has driven part to the documentary. See, the natural films and that beat cartoon physics will certainly conflict with that reality. The human touch in the camera gives audiences a sense that the crew is present, who are just as much as part of the action as the primary characters, although behind the scene. The characters have to engage with the unseen crew, like the films you shot on location, where they created dark corridors of a facility, as well as the natural style, as well as two worlds with as well. Cartoon physics tend to be more forgiving on the believability scale because the moment rules are made to be broken, as we push forces to reality, the fine lines need to be considered. If a gesture or expression is pushed just a little too far to being true, if you don't go far enough, then you miss the mark on the other side. The goal is to hit before everything undeniably gels. When the sequence is complete in the storyboards entitled editorial was launched to Leia. Leia was the object of the lunch determined the cinematic style of the sequence, evading creatives the issues and concerns about the voice and address before moving the sequence to full production. The digital handout was directed by an editorial cut list that included timings for the storyboard and eye. It was Leia's response to arrange the panels shortcut. A tool is developed be grouped into individual shots, but also allow the shots themselves to be grouped into scenes. So like that shot, like a group of shots of stairs. So like whether it could be like in this shot, they could have focused on here, or this particular shot. They just combine it all to one particular shot, whereas like you can move around any place. It's like, let's see what else. Blocking. I don't know. This is like really interesting. Probably, I don't know. Introduction. Let's see how the wave. I don't know what else. What other films do you want me to, I guess, discuss in terms of finding behind the scenes material? So I'm gonna type that. So, what films? Behind the scenes material. Scenes material. So maybe I don't know. Like there's so much stuff that we talk about, but like Z-depth render the wave and accurate the exact ocean surface. Interesting. Oh man, we referenced Happy Feet. Probably will do that. So maybe see what. Let me get. I think I remember anything about like Wally, so I think so. Let me
really
let me finish
realize,
this one, probably.
or they don't understand what's different about it, but they feel something different. With the camera work, it just feels like it's happening in the moment, that the movie is happening right in front of them at that time. And again, it's because of that camera work that makes you feel this is just happening. Or I just missed this little moment that happened, but then the camera caught up to it, and so it's not as clean or as sterile as a lot of computer animated movies can be. You know, we're a little kind of dirty around the edges, so it gives it kind of a cool feeling.
Is that cool? You guys got what you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
All right, be good.
There'll be a whole library of metal.
Over his cockroach pal, you know, we're freaked out that he crushes him, but
scene initially for these shots, and even though there's no dialogue.
But there's no Wally. Wait, I have the DVD for. You know, I was originally going to. I've been getting a trying to get like usually the SSD drive, but unfortunately I couldn't get that in time, so I couldn't have put the Wally DVD and watched those behind the scenes stuff, but that's why I was zoning to YouTube videos. And honestly, I kind of wish we did, because I could have actually showed you. Actually, why don't we talk about Sleeping Beauty? Actually, the making of Sleeping Beauty. Like, I want to see what what style was like. So you probably see that over here.
A long time ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a storyteller. He used his experience as a teller of fairy tales, combined with it
only existed in the imagination, but it's the kind of challenge we enjoy.
Well, Walt had built his feature film.
Ooh, let's see some of these backgrounds.
Ivan Earl was a very hard worker, very quiet.
This is behind those backgrounds. So you ever wonder these backgrounds? Okay, so like, let's look up. Sleeping Beauty backgrounds. Okay. So we see over here. You even see these? This one? Yeah, these like trees and that, and like that orange. Man, those are very. Oh shit, these are very striking backgrounds. Look at this. Look at this, Jay. I wonder how just like the
was very conscious of his. I don't know what it was. It was some illness or something he had that paralyzed one side of his face.
Earl had polio as a young man. It killed his brother in the very same year that he had the disease.
Some of the people used to call him the angry man, because he would never smile. And never bothered to find out or get close enough to know the man.
Ivan Durrell was born in 1916 in New York, and his father was Ferdinand Piney Earle. He came from a well-to-do family, and he was an artist. In early silent films, he was one of the best of the glass painters. You didn't have to go on location. You would put a piece of glass. And he was an artist. In early silent films, he was one of the best of the glass.
Oh, so he's the glass painter. That's why. Okay.
Painters.
So
You didn't have to go on location.
That's why it's like a very clear, transparent, like background. It's like
you would put a piece of glass up in front of, say, a doorway with actors working there, and then you would paint whatever it was around it. The problem was that he had a temper, Ivan Durrell's father did, and he alienated just about everybody he worked with.
Ivan Earle tells a tragic story about his childhood when his father, who was divorced from his mother, had permission to take the boy on a trip. And it turned out that that trip was not at all what...
Gameratsu. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Gameratsu, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Also, hi. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Very appreciated.
He had promised Earl's mother.
He took him to Mexico City, and he said to him on the train, "You're going to draw or paint a picture each day. You're going to read 50 pages of a book." And so he had to do that.
I mean, yeah, you usually told to read the book. I probably
3 years, he took him to all of the capitals of Europe. He was abused physically, and yet he had to paint alongside of his father every day during this insane episode in his life. And after 3 years, he escaped and then found his way back to California to his mother.
When he finally escaped, he told his mother, "I don't ever want to paint again." But then he found he really had a talent for this, and during the Depression, he could make a living doing paintings. And he was a practicing artist before he came to Disney.
Ivan Earle has a wonderful biography called Horizon Bound on a Bicycle. The title comes from the extraordinary feat riding from Los Angeles to New York when he was about 19 or 20 years old. 42 days, making 42 paintings, a painting a day, and at the completion of that journey, having an exhibition in New York where he sold them. I think with Ivan and his father...
I think, like, we could probably see those, like, silhouettes as, like, in those backgrounds. Like, we could see, like, some of those, like, similar, like, in, like...
Father being such a taskmaster, it also stirred in him a sense of fortitude, one might say.
You know, when he was a boy, he was always drawing and always sketching, and I think felt a certain pressure too. And I don't think he ever lost that sense of pressure that, you know, that was a twig that was bent and the tree grew that way.
So he always knew who he was as an artist. He was an artist first and foremost. He worked in every medium. He worked in oil and watercolor, gouache. He was a greeting card designer. He had a long, successful career designing Christmas cards.
Oh, okay. Apparently that gets you success.
Long before he ever got to Disney.
Ivan Durrell didn't start to work at Disney until 1951, which is ironically the year his father died. Penniless. He was hired to work as an assistant background painter on The Little House. And the first day there, he noticed...
Oh, that particular one. Okay. I mean, yeah, you can definitely tell his work.
100 beautiful little paintings by Mary Blair. And he thought, wow, this is great. This is what I want to do.
He did those ones.
Train on the
His assistant painter. Interesting.
Feature films of the early 50s. Certainly Peter Pan. You can definitely see some Ivan Earle influences.
Ivan had done something that Walt loved on Lady and the Tramp.
Tell me what you see.
Walt wanted Ivan to paint one background where when you saw that small American town, you wanted to live there forever. But if you looked up to the horizon, you saw adventure, and you wanted to get out of town, shake the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and see the world.
He also trained on a couple of shorts.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Like they made. I can definitely see like that environmental like influence.
That he worked with Ward Kimball. First one was called Melody. The second one is Toot Whistle Plunk Boom, which won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Subject. And they are even viewed today brilliant, brilliant, brilliant pieces.
So he advanced very quickly, and he was considered a talent, an up-and-coming talent.
Walt liked what Ivan was doing, and I can understand why Walt might have said, oh, wow, that's going to be so different from anything we've ever done before.
Ivan Earl was a brilliant artist. We were all in awe of his talents, and we were all kids. Now, on occasion, we would sneak upstairs during lunch hour to have a look at the backgrounds.
It was in a wing called D Wing.
Yo, wait, is yo, that's Don Bluth. That's Don Bluth. Oh my God, I did not. Oh yeah, he did used to work in and then before I did the 80s and then the late 70s, 80s. Oh wow, that's Don Bluth.
And that's where all of the
wow, my mind just like looking enlightened. It's like, whoa, that is Don Bluth.
That's where they created the picture and everything. And we would try and go there when no one would notice and look at all that.
Oh yeah, he was a former animated. He was an animated Disney before, like, good.
On occasion, we would venture into Ivan's office when he wasn't there, because, and then in time, we realized maybe we could even walk in when Ivan was there, as long as we didn't disturb him.
And one time,
he was probably like a very stoic
doorway
person.
while I watched him paint. And he painted in layers. He would start with a black bush, then he'd paint the next color up, and then he'd add more on top of that and add more on top of that. It was amazing to watch him.
Sleeping Beauty gave me the chance to paint a majority of the backgrounds. On the forest, I had a whole ton of assistants.
Oh my God!
Gave me the chance to paint
see how we design
a majority of the backgrounds.
They had very very tiny brushstrokes.
On the forest,
the trees, like the detail, they shaded them.
I had a whole.
They literally are paintings. It's like so cool. It's not just like things that they strategically designed for. Like they literally are like works of art. Like he was a painter.
A ton of assistants. I had to show them how I paint a bush or a tree. So I made a long panel with about 12 steps from a blob of black to the finished piece. And that was
because I like to emulate shade, and that's
used to make sure everybody would paint the backgrounds the way I do.
I remember reading somewhere that Ivan Earl claimed that he either painted or at least touched every single background in the film.
He
you can definitely see
did probably all the keys to Sleeping Beauty, which is phenomenal. Not only did he do a myriad of thumbnails, but he did all the key paintings, and for such elaborate backgrounds, that is an
that is like impressive.
Incredible feat.
For like a person, at the very least, is like a few people.
Very prolific,
very
not only at the studio but outside of the studio. Post Disney, he painted must be thousands of paintings. He did lithographs and serigraphs, beautiful landscapes, trees, hills. He was very inspired by the sort of Northern California countryside of the rolling hills. Beautiful stuff.
Perhaps we know him best through this work in the Disney film Sleeping Beauty, but he went on to a long and very successful career. His paintings and prints were always sold out. If an artist's life is about searching and about attempting to always look over the horizon, he would certainly have that life.
Man, that's like freaking remarkable. Like, jeez. Which one was this? Oh, this was the 2003 release. Wait, literally, I just found this. I don't know what other films I really want. There's like, I don't know. There's like some other ones. What can I do? I'm not even sure what other films I could talk about. Maybe you see over here. see. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Hold on. Let me. I'm not sure. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. I don't know. I didn't really talk about a lot of stuff, but like, get really in deep with a lot of stuff too. So I ain't even sure. I don't see. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if I really want to talk anymore, because I don't really have a lot of other stuff. Like, there's other films I talked about, but like, I'm not even sure. Maybe you could find one more thing. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if most of it was animation. It's because music.
When you think of the most popular character from literature for children, who do you think of?
Think.
Here's a clue. He's a bear.
Okay, yeah.
Winnie the Pooh?
Back when Walt Disney's daughters were small,
Holy cow.
Walt was concerned that they would have more charm than substance. And he wanted to be sure that we had...
A little bit so you get the feeling of an expression, but they couldn't look like this, or around or up that way, like Mickey could. We had to do it by turning the head, and actually it was better.
And to see where the story to be...
The shapes, I think it was
maybe
used
you can
to
look at
advantage
this
on
one.
Pooh by just having the outline of the shapes in the background.
The story to be animated is broken down shot by shot in drawings called storyboards.
Yeah, I know.
These allow the
I'll
staff
probably
to
add
study
that
the
too.
flow of
That
the
too.
story and to see where problems might exist.
We had about 2/3 of what we considered a feature in storyboards. We were in development. Some parts of it were actually in animation, some of the early areas. But we were just really thinking in terms of a total animated feature. And one day we had this major meeting with all the people involved in the Winnie the Pooh project, and Walt said, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to platform this property. We're not just going to put out a feature, because the American public, particularly the children in America, are not familiar with Winnie the Pooh at all. So actually what he did was he sectioned it into 3 sections. And so
Those were like the original shorts, apparently. I was like, there was like... So the interesting thing about this is, originally, along with like an epilogue and like a prologue, we have like 3... They're technically actually already shorts.
all kind of like surprised and perturbed about it. We said, well, what, featurette, why? And he says, you'll see. Once we have people aware of the Winnie the
And then
Pooh
again, this
characters,
was during the sort of dark age that they had. When it was like in the 70s. When they...
Next time around, it'll be much, much bigger. And it'll become classic. It'll become a masterpiece. You watch and see.
Once the story and characters are approved, and before the animation can begin, the dialogue is recorded. Casting the voices for this stuffed menagerie brought out many of Hollywood's most interesting voices.
Walt always wanted this believable business. He wanted to transport the audience to some make-believe
So,
place
like, we
that
really
they
see
could never
that.
go themselves. And that's what the right voice does for you.
Oh, bother.
Actor Sterling Holloway, who had provided the voice for the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland, was
He used to with two. Paul Winchell is just Winchell hat on the wall, and like Tiggers, I would always ad lib. I would always throw in something, like I threw in one day that, well, TTFN.
T. Bass on The Andy Griffith Show provided the voice for Gopher.
Ralph Rocky.
John Walmsley, who starred as Jason on The Waltons, was one of 3 actors who provided the voice for Christopher Robin.
Oh,
I was 12, actually 11, when I did Christopher Robin. And the character was basically me. Christopher Robin is a little English boy, and I was a little English boy. So I was basically playing myself at the time.
Hello, Christopher Robin.
Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
Sebastian Cabot, who was familiar to American TV audiences as Mr. French on A Family Affair, was cast as the narrator.
Honey rhymes with bunny, and bunny rhymes with, rabbit?
Other voices included character actor John Fiedler as Piglet. To the final color footage.
I like how very rounded this is.
The wonderful thing about fingers, it's because the wonderful things. The tops are made of the rubber, the bottoms are made of the strings. The bouncy, flouncy, flouncy,
I love how the lack of the details in this one is because you just...
It's because the wonderful things. The tops are made of the rubber.
Buddy Baker wrote, arranged, and conducted the musical score to complement the songs written by the Sherman Brothers. As with Sergei Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf, Baker designed it so that different musical instruments represent each of the major characters.
The best. The ocarina. Oh shit, it's the ocarina time. Yo, that's a great phrase actually. Ocarina of Pooh.
On February 4th, 1966, Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree was released theatrically. Shortly afterwards, Walt started production on the second featurette, Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, but he did not live to see the fulfillment of his prophecy about...
Yeah, obviously. Because he died. Alright. Sorry. I think I might just, you know what, I don't know, I'll just kick back and end it, probably. It is gonna get late. And also, I don't really have a lot to say, I don't know. Maybe, that's the stream. Thank you for watching. I guess it is interesting. Subs Up was big, like, the most interesting out of all of these that I found. Maybe we could do one of these again, maybe for more films, and probably also for like video games that too. I guess if you could find stuff in there. And I kind of enjoyed, like, I don't know, always... You know what the interesting thing is? I always love, like, the act of creating is such a big task. And like so many things and like people, that there's so many little things that like effort, and sometimes it's unused, sometimes it's like in a particular way that needs to like coincide with a particular vision, or like in a way that, and sometimes it's like already made and somehow trying to like form it into a bigger piece of a puzzle, you know. It's like always like interesting and that such. So that's like always, maybe we could do one of these for like video games and that such. I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe we can do a raid, the good old-fashioned raid. Let's see. There's a few. There's Tilly. Actually, I don't know. This is one that's doing it.
Julia. I hope you guys have a lovely anniversary. That's so sweet.
Maybe. I do want to show support for. Let's see what the Tilly on. Tilly's doing a podcast making all like husbandus and waifus and that such. I wonder, does that, I don't know, maybe.
Like the little
Okay, maybe I can actually You know what? I want to do a small little raid on. I think I found them just recently, so we're gonna do that. Okay, here we go. I think I know a raid phrase. Ocarina of Pooh. That's the raid phrase. That's like Ocarina of Time, but it's the Ocarina of Pooh. So copy that raid phrase, and we're gonna just hop on over to On's. Tomorrow, I'm actually not sure about tomorrow or Saturday. We'll see. Maybe, I don't know. I'll probably not stream one of those days because then just spend some time to chill and that such. But thank you all for watching. This is a hell of a lot of fun. I love this is a hell of a lot of fun. So we're gonna do this. Anyway, have a good night, and I'll see you all next time. Oh wait. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.
Don't lie to me. Hi, hello, thank you for the raid. Ocarina of Pooh. Hello, welcome on in. I hope you had a good stream. Can we get a shout out for I, please? We're gonna raid Bug. I know, I'm so sorry. You joined us right as we were wrapping up. I'm doing a bit of a quick stream tonight. But I appreciate you raiding still. We are about to go over to Bug, who is live right now playing Disney Dreamlight Valley. Bug is cozy vibes, you know. I think she will be a good fit